All of us are outside of this world. We're gods outside of a holographic simulation that we made on a damn table just like this right here. And then when we made this world, we was on the outside looking in, and then we created mind uploading technology that would allow us to literally sit in a chair around this table and project our consciousness onto the table into a little human body and walk around our creation. Look, this is us leaving the base reality. In the base reality, we said, let us make man in our image. We created the universe that we're in. And then when we projected into that universe, we fell asleep in our throne around the table. Some of us gonna wake up quicker than other ones, and they avatar gonna leave the table. We all put up a chair to this table and decided to feast off of this thing called life. You bit the apple. You bit the apple and you ate from the tree of life. You sat at the table. You became one of the knights of the round table. So your soul is literally projecting itself into this realm from the outside, just like these dudes right here, right? They got another little small little body on the table living in the little simulation world. And when they ready to leave the little world that's on the table, then the version of them that's in this room right here, they get up and they wake up off of the chair, right? Imagine a bunch of people pulling a chair up to the table and they saying, look, I want to play, count me in. And you pull your chair up, right? And I'm going to show you how it look when you pull your chair up to the table. This is what it look when God pulls his chair up and say, hey, I want to play. Look what happened. This what you did. Here go your throne right there. You put your damn throne up to this table. Look where is it. You put your chair up to that table, man, and you sat there and projected yourself into this shit. That's why you got the throne of God around that table. The people that control this whole simulation, that's what all them satellites beneath the throne is. You got to go to the highest one, and that leads you out of the matrix, the throne of God. See, when you make it to the throne of God, you end up in your chair at the round table, and you wake up like, damn, that was a crazy experience. And when you get up out your chair, guess what's going to happen? Somebody else going to sit in it. It's musical chairs. Souls leaving, souls coming. For every soul that get up from the table, it's a soul that's going to come behind them and sit down at the table. And this is us feasting on the fruit of life. We're all knights of the round table who put up a chair and to eat of this thing called life. And when we done feasting, guess what? We leave the table and our avatar leaves the table. This is the Last Supper right here. So check this out, right? In our base reality, we created stargates. This table is a stargate, y'all. When you get a bunch of souls in Eden come together, all of their spiraling energy creates a hurricane in the middle of them. That's what I'm telling you. Everybody that's born onto the earth when you was born and when you die, that's everybody that's seated at your table. That's the time you in. There are many tables, and that represent many ages. You didn't come onto the table during that time. It's like musical chairs. Everybody that sit down when I sit down, them the people that was born, that was living on the earth when I was living. You feel me? And we ain't gonna all be the same age, but we all share at the same time. We ain't all the same age, but we all share at the same age, if that make any sense. So each of these tables is like its own universe around Vishnu. And Jesus is the one in the middle of the table separating all of these worlds. He's the one that's creating duality. Again, Chronos. Why is Christ chopping his own damn body up? That's mutilation. That don't make no sense. Why would Christ be sitting at a table chopping his own body up, literally? You know what? Because they telling a story. It's the story of Vishnu right here. Vishnu is laying down. His body is the food on the table. When his body get chopped up, it becomes a bubble. Each of these bubbles is the body of Vishnu being refracted and reflected from his real self, from Christ, which is the center. Christ represents the center, which is why he's in the middle of the table. And from the middle of the table, he can refract and reflect his energy outward. They tell that story by making him cut his body up and pass it around the table, because they telling the same story of Vishnu right here. Vishnu, this is the same story of Osiris chopping his body up and spreading it around the world. What they really saying is, in Eden, your soul was chopped up and a piece of it was put into each star system. A star system is a stir system. That's what we're calling the solar system. It's the fucking energy that's being stirred up around the North Pole. So order is at the middle and chaos is around it. Order out of chaos. See, the flag blow whichever way the wind blow, but the flagpole don't move. The North Pole is the flagpole. The flag that's attached to that pole, that's the stars. There can be many flags attached to one pole. That pole will never move, but them flags will stay moving every time the wind blow. That's what I'm telling you. Our true home is the stationary North Pole. That's Jesus. He said, I'm none changing. If you look at this image, it's very tricky how Da Vinci was telling this knowledge that I'm teaching. Study the picture. Guess what you see? Everybody around Jesus is moving around. Jesus is still. He's in this one sort of rested position while all of the disciples around him are full of activity. They very moving around, hyper. And Jesus is the most still one because he's the North Pole. The North Pole don't move. All of the satellites surrounding the North Pole, they move around it. You see what Vishnu doing with his avatars? You see that? So Jesus chopping his body up, spreading it all around him, is just the Christian way of trying to teach the multiple universes emanating from Mahavishnu. You see? So I started my lecture saying we're gods, and I meant that, and I wasn't gonna stop till I proved that, and here we go. I got the story right, nickel.